So.
Will they come back, will they come into the police department?
Yeah, they pick up the actual police.
Okay, has that been approved?
I don't think they're, I mean,
They come back.
oh, yeah, they go. The difference is we have to get it all and take it to Monroeville.
Oh, you have to transport it?
All of it.
So people actually come into the police department, drop the drugs off, and then y'all transport it.
We have to make an appointment with them to take it, so we have to secure it as an evidence we have, so we can get it there.
Is that an issue? Okay. Well, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna need a motion on it to accept it.
What kind of volume do we usually get?
Usually it's a good bit. They take it in town, you have to weigh it.
I mean, would it be a time that we may skip this one, or is it something that's critical enough that we can do it?
It comes in handy, it's just gonna take us probably one vehicle to get it done.
The other thing is we won't have Walmart and Monroeville as a station this year to do drop-offs because there's not enough people to man those areas. So it'll be at one location. Last year, I think we did 96,000 for spring the year before for the drop-off number.
If y'all are willing to do it and you think it's beneficial to the community, then just go with it. Even if it costs us a little bit more by transport. Yeah.
Can you do that in the form of a motion? Okay, thanks. Okay, thanks, Don. Okay, now we've got on the Halloween bash, and I think Billy sent out some CDC guidelines for Halloween and COVID. I don't know if y'all got that.
Yeah, what I sent, if you'll look at the large scale event, which I think is what this falls under, they recommend not doing it. But if you do, it has to be like one-way traffic. They have to maintain 6 feet of separation. People are not the same family household. It has to be, or this is their recommendation, doesn't have to be, but pre-packaged stuff so that you're not handling it. They can just walk by and get it. Again, no back and forth, everybody moves in the same direction and all this stuff. It's going to be very difficult to police that.
Is this practical? The thought is good, but is it practical?
Yeah, and that's why I sent the guidelines out. That's what they're recommending. So I think it's going to be very difficult for police. Don has actually mentioned doing that maybe a longer duration to the day so you don't have as many people. I don't know that answer.
Now, I had recommended a couple of options. The first option was change the times from 3 to 6 because there are ball games to big ball games that evening with SEC, and it's a full moon, and it's daylight savings time that night. So it's going to get dark very quickly. I mean, it'll probably be dark by 6:30.
If it's that night, it's not going to be that night. The time change is that night. Not it won't affect that event.
But it'll drop quick is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dark. But I think if we do 3 to 6 because it's on a Saturday and we require the tables to be at least 12 foot apart, separating, you know, everybody wears masks, gloves, and has access to hand sanitizer on the table. The candy item will be placed on the table with no physical contact, and then the child will pick up the candy and put it in their bag, kind of like what we do.
I think it'll be difficult because like last year, all those kids, you know, was all pushed up. Although you might try to keep them distant, but it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be very hard. I think we just need to cancel it this year, and hopefully next year everything will be back halfway back to normal, and we can do it then.
You know, the part of when people trick or treat is still practical in a sense because the people taking children out, it's their decision, and people that are having lights on where they can come get it, it's their decision also.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't, if I had young children, I wouldn't take them out this year.
Well, CDC's even recommended that you're not allowed that.
But I'm saying of any of the things, that's more practical than
Right.
the mob that we have. I mean, I love this thing. I mean, it's done well. People have responded to it well. But this is not the year to be responding. One person through that whole batch at a time can affect a lot of people, because it's going to be just hard to control.
But on the trick or treat part, you know, we've taken away so much, and it's like you say, if you don't want to participate at your house, just don't turn your porch light on. But I would, you know, I would be really in favor of doing the trick or treat part.
Downtown?
No,
House.
Because that way, that's your city.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
your
it
vote.
shows-
Both
yeah.
of them to see the person.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, and I think house
Yeah.
to house, I mean, it's
yeah.
practical.
You have to have your light on.
In our neighborhood, we
Right.
always have
Yeah,
house to house.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not optimal, but I think it's better than doing the square.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
least somebody, if you don't wanna have to deal with it, you turn the light off.
Yeah.
They can do it.
And then the other option is do you want stores to still participate and decorate around the square at all?
Why not?
And so people can come out and take pictures on their own. And then we still have a little bit of trick or treating, you know, the actual Halloween itself. So that's up to you all. I didn't know, you know, that was part of the option. If you still want them to decorate, or if you just want to hop and shut it all down.
People are going to still decorate anyway, and that might as well. At least have that part of it.
That makes it more festive downtown, and it helps the merchants. So I think that's good.
And maybe, just a suggestion as far as the time on the trick or treating, maybe do the time like you were talking about, from 3 to 6 or something like that, rather than later or whatever, you know, but everybody want to do that.
I think, isn't it usually 5 to 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it 5 to 7 because of Halloween night, and then the openness of, you know, open doors trick or treating and downtown. It would be too much on the police department, but if we're not gonna do the downtown stuff, it'll be all probably wrapping up in January. So.
What about 4 to 6? Instead of 3 to 6, 4 to 6. How do you get them to it?
I think it is kind of like it is.
Mhm.
Because people are working.
Exactly.
Well, Saturday.
5 to 7.
Oh, it's Saturday, it's a Saturday though, yeah, yeah.
And you know, if you decide to do that, we'll put something on Facebook about the CDC guidelines. So they're recommended if you do the stuff for people to have it prepackaged, and basically they can reach a gravity, you're not transmitting for people putting their hands in bags and things like that.
Yeah, that's good.
What about Christmas parade? You're not gonna do that this year, right? You're gonna have the same issue.
It's the Christmas parade. I have a letter from the chamber asking, to have the Christmas parade, it's coming up, December 5th, and she has, let me see if I can find it. They're saying more, okay, here it is. Like permission to host the Christmas parade December 5th. Parade lineup would assemble at the same place as it always does. Lieutenant Davenport has approved the route. Public safety is of the utmost importance at this time. We will adhere to any CDC guidelines set forth by Governor Ivey and address any specific rules and a later date for parade participants. The chamber may limit the number of float riders and will provide gloves and masks for those throwing candy. We'll encourage citizens to watch the parade socially distanced or even view the parade from their vehicles. So that is the letter that she sent regarding that. If y'all, whatever, y'all recommend.
I think we're gonna do the same.
Me too.
Halloween bash, people not gonna, we're gonna see the street guidelines. What do you think about that?
The governor may have the mask ban by that time as well. But they said, well, if you use it in November or.
November 2nd or something like that.
7, it's after election because they want to still protect the poll watchers, the poll workers, one of the things.
The chamber, they're also, while we're talking about all this, they're also doing the Monroeville Market on the square. And that, we also have a letter about that, which I'm failing to find in all this pile of paper, but it would be, do you remember the date on that? I'm gonna have to, I'll find it before the meeting's over. Okay. But that market is only vendors. It's not the Taste of Monroeville. It's strictly on the square, under tents, with vendors. And it's like an all-day Saturday, 9 to 5 event where people can just go booth to booth, kind of like the farmer's market.
In a sense, I feel that's not much different than shopping in a store there.
Yeah.
And that's not mild one time either way.
What do we need to, like, I don't know at what point you cancel the Christmas parade. Do y'all want to make a decision on that, or do you want to wait and see if some of the guidelines change before?
Wait and see like the guidelines.
Yeah.
The guideline, they changed, but the virus not gonna change.
But what virus?
Chuck Murphy sent this out just a little bit ago on our text for reading before I came over here. And this is coronavirus cases for Monroe County. In July, we had 190 cases, but that's when the mask ordinance was implemented. In August, we had 59 cases. In September, 15 cases. This is all confirmed cases. And so far in October 6th. So we're on the downward trend, and as well as I think the whole state is.
Right, and I did, here's the letter, I found it. Okay, this is regarding the market event, November 14th from 10 to 5 on the downtown square. Judge Stinson has given permission for that. The day will feature retail and food vendors as well as live entertainment. The chamber would like to request permission from the city council to use 2 or 3 of the 10 by 10 tents and tables from Public Works. The police department has been informed they do not feel that, the chamber doesn't feel they will need extra security for this. They will adhere to any CDC guidelines with social distancing, et cetera. So that is the market, November 14th. And that's just more of an information piece. In my mess of papers. Okay. Okay, so as far as Halloween, we'll set the trick or treat hours from 5 to 7. Is that what y'all want to do on Saturday? Okay, I guess we're going to need that in the form of a motion from someone. Okay, Larry. Okay, thank you. Okay, and Dom, you'll move ahead with the decorating stuff. Okay, thank you. Okay, thanks. I'm sorry, it's just it's a bad time with all this COVID. Sometimes things can get back to normal. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is Paxton Reeves for the update on the VF Lake project.
I don't think he's made it yet.
You don't think he's here?
They're on their way. I talked to him about 30 minutes ago and they were coming together.
Okay. Michael, do you want to start going and do the fleet program then?
Right, the state contract, the police car for gas and stuff, we would like to get something so, at least to have something, if somebody goes out of town, we get gas tax free. And also on these cars, like if you break down, you can put like tires, brakes and stuff like that on. And it's, they send us a monthly bill. There's no cost, all fees have been waived through the state contract. It would be, the state's been using for years. I know South Alabama Gas has got it, and they've had good success with it. And we could right now, I feel that we could go ahead and get, you know, a card or two for each department. And so if somebody goes out of town, they have a fuel card, where we won't have to pay taxes on it. And it's like 95% of the, you know, service stations accept. You know, it's all over. All your big name stations accept. And then later on, you know, we could look at doing it for the gas for all vehicles. And actually, that would actually help our local businesses out because we'd be buying, you know, from all of them. It wouldn't be just one station. You could go, you know, pick your station, Murphy, Diamond, you know, Shell Station, whatever. But it's a good program. It's been around, and they actually monitor everything for us, and they send us a monthly statement. You can go online anytime and get a printout, and every vehicle is registered on the card. It has the vehicle, you know, number and all on it. So when that card is used, it's used for that vehicle.
Well, now, is this, I mean, would this be something that we would implement immediately?
Yes, ma'am. If y'all want to go ahead and, you know, we could just go ahead and get a couple cards for each department, one or two cards for each department. And that way they go out of town. But it's also a good thing to have if your fuel pumps go down. But now we can actually do away with the fuel pumps on the gas side if we've got a card for every vehicle.
How much should we just spend on those?
Well, on the tanks is around altogether, well, 15,000. But now, to be honest with you, I would like to keep the diesel tank because they do have the loaders, backhoes, the tractors, you know, the equipment and stuff like that. That would be kind of awkward, you know, hauling them to a station all the time and filling them up. Yeah. Yeah, but right now we actually get ethanol-free gas, you know, through our gas company. And we actually get it a lot cheaper than what we're going to get it at a gas station.
From all the small engines that we use, I prefer to stay ethanol-free. I don't want any station to be down for it.
Well, now Murphy's has a 1 ton. But still, for the price that we paid for it, through that, you know, we save money, I think. But I do think.
Save money to keep buying it both.
Yes.
But then have the fuel card.
Yeah, I think we do need to get fuel cards and you know, if not just 1 or 2 per department. And that way, if they have to go out of town, you know, because on our city credit card, if we purchase gas, anything we pay a tax on it when we purchase it out of town. This way, we won't have to, you know, go out of town, we won't have to pay tax on it.
So how, does they rebate the merchant or how does it work?
It's actually, the way it's set up, it's just like whenever you use it at fuel pumps, it's just like you're using a discount card. It automatically deducts. The way I understand it now, whenever it prints your receipt out, it actually already have it deducted.
So for the non-ethanol gas, you're saying we'd be better off still buying it in bulk rather than everybody using it?
Right now, Wednesday, when we got fuel, we paid $1.60 a gallon for it. And even tax-free at Murphy's, you probably pay $2.07 or something like that.
Well, it don't make sense to change.
Yeah.
If it's 50 cents a gallon less than what you know, you pay 50 cents a
I don't
gallon
know
less
exactly
than
what the tax is
you know.
right now, but I think it's $2.80 something a gallon for non-ethanol at Murphy.
Yeah, I'm in agreement, Mike. I think we need some for when we're out of town, or wants to go down, but not to take the place of our.
And I get, even though it shouldn't, does it open up another opportunity for any abuse when you have that card versus having to sign for it when you get the tank? I mean, you know, there has been problems in the past with people using cards years ago, not supposedly
There is a thing now, because to be honest with you, you could actually take one of them cars and go to a service station and fill your private vehicle up. All you gotta do is put the right numbers in. You know, that's a chance now, you know.
Yeah, and I know there's repercussions to the person doing it, but, I'm just saying that adds any opportunity for that, for abuse.
You know, there's always gonna be abuse, everything.
I recommended
is
that
it-
Michael have a log and check the card out whenever somebody needs to use it for out-of-town travel, then that way he knows who has the card,
Okay.
who used it,
I
then
mean,
that way they check it back in, and then you have your checks and balances.
I mean, working like a credit card, essentially, we say it's cheaper because it saves
Right.
tax.
But as long as there's like a check-in, check-out log of who has the card, then that would help with the.
Well, I think each department need to have their own card, though.
Right.
Look at this, it's like, I got a guy in school right now, he's got our accepted credit card, and he has to submit the receipts every week. He
Yeah.
does gas card, same week as issue the card.
But on a fill, if you'd say $5 possibly on taxes, or more.
But he has to fill up once a week, usually about $25, $27 now on the credit card.
Or good, and it's also got roadside assistance with it. And, you know, if you have a blowout or something, you know, you get tires back, or, you know, all of that, would be non-taxable.
Safety. Are we gonna need a motion on?
It was just discussion.
Okay. Well, it sounds like we need to move ahead with putting that in place. Thank you, Michael. Okay, wonder, is Paxton here? Thanks.
Taxes, that's got a lot of it. They got a good plan to do it.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. That $1,800 that we voted on, wasn't that a one time? Or was it? What was
One
it?
time. One time.
But also if it's, you get it, then you're getting it. You can technically leave, it would not be spread out over your year and that thing too. I'm concerned with that. You just do it one time.
It does not affect your salary,
Okay.
is what the difference is. In other words, if you're starting at whatever the starting pay in your department is, it's not gonna affect the starting pay, which means that we're still behind, even with giving it.
If this is time to talk about it, now we've got this something else in order after this or.
Oh, it's,
Jeremy gonna be in, they said they run a little late, but they're gonna do
okay, well, we can either, you want to talk about this now, or if we've got Tim on here.
that. You got them in the office, dude.
Well, we got.
Yeah.
Oh, then we're way ahead of time. Yeah, we can go back and discuss that, you know, let's discuss this, one time.
After going over the whole plan, again, I've been asking as much on doing this thing, like, we need to do a raise in some form. And in a sense, this is money to employees, but it's not technically a raise. Also, if we give it to the one, considering that as being a raise for in next year's salary, then we give it to them at one time, then they could leave the week after, and they would have that person that has to work all year. Understand, I'm getting at there, and you're,
Well, that's just luck of the draw, you know?
yeah, but you still, but again, do we not aren't we still trying to give the people a raise? I mean, giving them more money is a raise in some way. Why not it be a raise where it's monthly or weekly or bi-monthly or whatever it is down the line, and let that be spread out wherever during the whole year time.
Well, what I was thinking, my thought, the $1,800, you know, how much would that be, by week? You know, $40 or $50 or whatever. I mean, It's like you're not getting, to me, it's like I'm not getting anything. I'd rather have the whole amount.
I thought this would be.
I did.
That whole.
But Melvin said it's not a raise.
So what?
Listen, I
It's
mean,
not a raise.
we're trying to equalize our employees in salary wise. And the only way you can do that is say, okay, you're gonna get this much more an hour, or this much more a month, just pay it. I mean, it's, that goes into retirement, that goes into everything down the line. They can go and say, I am now making $16 an hour. Where, yes, it's nice to have this, just like we've done a one-time thing in the past. We're not accomplishing what we really want to accomplish.
I thought what we were doing was saying, okay, you're gonna get $1,800 this year, and then we're gonna have more time to study before we do the next. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
So when we do the Auburn plan and study all that, and look at it.
now, another question that I had also, and again, we addressed this one too, is the difference in some people, how much from what they're making to what they will eventually make. How is this number arrived at? I mean, of who got in what categories that they were placed in order to get this differential? You haven't asked that question yet. Mary, how is this determined what somebody was going to make by the, as we say, the Auburn plan or whatever, the Auburn survey?
They came in and they interviewed every employee, and they determined, they looked at the old job descriptions from 2002, and they asked the employees, what are your job duties? And so they went in, and after they interviewed every employee, they came back and they revamped all of our old job descriptions. And they did it based on a point system. So you do 40 duties in your job. They added all of the duties. And at the bottom, they said, okay, 40 points. That classifies you in a grade 7 versus a grade 10. So based off of all the points and all the duties that you're responsible for in that position, that's where they classified them as a grade 10, step 1 or step 5, whichever. So that's where with the interviews and with meeting with all the employees, they developed a new classification plan and then put each employee in the grades that they fell into based off the points.
So, I mean, that's their recommendation, of course, let's accept this thing, but that's how they arrived at us doing it. I mean, are we going to sit down and do any better than that? We're going to sit there and pick and choose and say, okay, this person's not doing that much, so therefore they are not getting that category.
I don't know, that's to be determined. That's the reason I thought we were doing the $1,800 was to give us some time to reconsider and look at it and hash it out at some point in time before we do the next person. I mean, I thought that's what we agreed on.
Yeah, I thought $1,800 to the next group.
I mean, that is what breathes. The only real question I have about that is the lump sum payment. But the other is I was concerned about how that arrived, and then by looking at it, that's what I'm trying to come. You know what? We need to get people on a reasonable why they're in the classification they are, and we paid to have this service done. Again, originally I was very hesitant, but the more I look at it, the better it looks. For that reason, so they are independent, and they were the ones that actually, by this here, the ones that actually made the determination of where they go. So. I just think we keep kicking the ball down the road, and
I thought it was settled last meeting.
That's what I thought.
if you're fine with that, I'm fine with that. But
It's just good to just keep it.
And I guess the only thing, it's like if you're an employee and say you're trying to buy a house, what they look at is your salary. They don't really care about what your bonus is because you might not get that. It's not really a bonus, whatever it is. It's not, this does not long-term help our employees. I mean, yes, short-term, it's a great benefit, but But long-term, you still have the people, and y'all are concerned with the ones at the bottom. The ones at the bottom are still making at the bottom. It's not it's not competitive. And you know, your concern is keeping them. So that step system is there to give your employees a look forward, which I think is fitting for the city. I mean, it's progressive.
And we got to change it this time. So we look at that. That's what I thought. And that's the thing now, which is all in, which is right now, same thing.
Anthony, are you thinking the same thing?
Yeah, just, I mean, yeah, the same thing right now, so, I don't know, we don't talk about this tonight, we're going to prepare for it.
Oh, well, it's just that we got the budget to pass tonight. That's why we're talking about it.
And I do agree, there needs to be some adjustments made, but we need to sit down and look at it. It needs to be our plan. It doesn't need to be somebody else's plan. But yes, I mean, for a police officer to make $14 and something an hour, that's got to change. Got to change.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to affect, when you have new hires, you're going to be starting them down on this lower scale. I mean, it's got repercussions. I'm just, look, y'all, I'm leaving. I hate to leave on that note, but if I have to, so be it. But I just feel like that is the right thing to do.
I understand.
Do you think we might need to tell them if we get
I mean, if we table it, what do we got? We got 2 weeks to make another decision. I mean, we're going to do this in 2 weeks? No. I mean, we went a year of getting this information to do this.
But you see, Melvin, you see that it's something we need to do. So here's my thought is, would y'all consider, let's look at it and come back on the 20th with the budget.
You know, the bottom line, this whole thing could have been handled a whole lot different. It was crammed down our throats by 2 or 3 people from the very beginning. And no, I'm for sticking with it, just what we approved last meeting. Yes, we need to look at it. There need to be some folks given raises, but there's nobody. Never's a long time, so I won't use that word, but I'm not going to vote to give somebody a $5,000 a year raise and somebody else a nickel. That's the bottom line. I'm not going to do it.
There's nobody on that budget will be given a $5,000 raise.
Can you not? Have you not seen the sheet?
Yep.
Look at it.
I think we just need to stick to our plan, what we said at the last meeting, and let that be until next year. That's what we agreed to, that's what I'm sticking to. Whatever we agreed to.
Well, that comes up in the budget, so we'll have it when we pass the budget.
And can we not, if we decide in March or April, or whenever we do decide we want to adopt this, can we not go to that pay scale then? If we decide we can afford it?
Yeah, and I would hope y'all to do that in the short term.
Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to make some adjustments.
But I just think like the point, like, you know, like some people getting 1%. So I mean, the lower people would be in the chapel, to be honest. It wasn't like the older, like the people who make more money, like they were some of the stuff. Like I saw one person getting like 1%, some getting 2%. It was just like on the lower end, so them ones was not benefited from it.
Well, actually, at the lower end, there's several that are very.
Well, that's why I saw that. We got so many changes, I can't remember. I saw some of them very low.
Well, it sounds like y'all are gonna want to study a little more, so I've had my say, so we'll move on. Okay, we have Paxton and Jeremy here for the lake project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here. Where would y'all like us to address you from? Come up front or can you hear us well here?
Why don't y'all come up front, be front center?
Yeah. Glad getting used to this coronavirus
Yeah,
event. Mayor, council. Good to be here. Last time we were.
I would get on wall wherever you would, and that really
There you go.
there too.
That's my best side. Come on now. No, we're excited to be here. Last time we were before y'all, it was to make recommendations to award the Vanity Fair Lake project and rehabilitating it, cleaning it out to Mitchell's Contracting, Catherine, Alabama. That has since been done. We've had a pre-construction meeting, which went well. We awarded that contract $362,000-ish. We had, I believe it was 4 bidders.
Three bidders.
Three
Yeah.
bidders total, and we basically left that meeting and said, hey, there's some other things we'd love to be able to do to the lake, to the asset that y'all got, and we got as good a bid price as we can. And so that's where we at. Come back to you to say how much thought have you given to that. It's our recommendation based on the fact that we got such good bid prices for us to be able to do some things that we already talked about. Some additional parking, fish screen, fingers, removing the fingers out of the ponds, and other miscellaneous items while we got such great bid prices. But at the end of the day, it's the council's decision to make, not ours. We are starting work in about 4 weeks, and we've got a capital improvements budget to pass as well. So we want to come back and be prepared to answer any questions that y'all had and just get some clarity from y'all. We did have a chance to talk with the incoming mayor and Miss Sandy at the pre-construction meeting. We talked at length about this, and it was under their advisement that we're back before you to get some clarity about how much money we want to spend on this project. We have awarded the contract. I'm going to repeat it one more time: $362,000. We ask you to continue to try to hold a place in the budget around 500. That may not fit what you need. We would really like to have about 460, 465 if we could, to be able to make some of the improvements that we did think we would be able to make in totality when we were originally scoping the project, just because we were trying to keep the project to a certain dollar figure. I think we could come in under that original dollar figure and have made a lot more improvements than we originally thought, if that's what the council so wishes. So with that, any questions?
And the other two bidders, I think the second was at like 515 and the third was at 525, just to give you an idea of how good a bid pricing you did get from the low bidder at 362.
This is the time to make decisions, and they're just going to be set. But you're not going to get better bid price than what we got in this company.
The 3 things we talked about that are not in that bid are replacing the screen on the, for the fish.
Correct.
Replace the screen, take out the fingers, which add to the silting in, and they're hard to maintain. Just take them out. I think there are 3 of them.
There are 3.
And then the parking area that Melvin requested. So when we had the pre-construction meeting, those were the things that I brought up. Well, the screen, I didn't, because I really didn't know anything about the screen. But when y'all brought it up, I said, well, why would you not replace the screen? You know, if you're gonna try to restock the lake, it makes no sense not to have a screen. So those 3 things would enhance it and set it up for the next 50 to 100 years.
My first thought is, of course, since we got an outstanding bid, so that don't mean we necessarily need to spend money.
That's correct.
My second thought is, do you have any kind of, on these 3 projects, any kind of rough idea of what kind of money we'd be getting into
Now,
individually? Or?
the screen's going to be less than $10,000. The parking, I'd love to get back with you on it. It depends on what we decide to do there. Because it's going down the hill, there's some grade to it, some potential washing. It would really be good for it to be paved. We got some latitude there, but I would recommend it being paved with curb and gutter. Still got to work through some details, like the $15,000 to $20,000 adder. And the fingers, you're going to be looking at north of $30,000 for the fingers. So to remove those and
So tell me more about the fingers.
So those are the little peninsulas that you can actually walk out on and you can fish off of that are, you know.
If you left them,
Yep.
then could you, do a retaining wall around for that same money? And we would,
You would,
you know, like you
you
do,
wouldn't
like
spend those.
you do on the river or anything else in the dock.
Yeah. Your cost per linear foot on the retaining wall, we'd have to get a price on that, but it would be, it'd be quite high. And then the thing about a retaining wall is y'all well aware those, you're gonna get fit, depending on conditions, you're gonna get maybe 20, 30 years out of those, so they'll start failing. So this is a solution that's more long term.
We can get 30 years out of this dredging this time. That's not what it was,
That would be about,
But
well,
now, one thing, I did find out that removing the fingers more than likely helps us with the settlement. But it does restrict the water flow. Those fingers, it kind of slows the water flow down. And with the water, if the water's flowing correctly, it'll make the silt spread out more. And it takes it longer, you know, to build up. And we could get rid of some of the silt if it gets to the other end and go over spill down there. So, see, removing the fingers could help us in that benefit too.
and now to your point, I don't want to dive deeper, but I mean, you can do math. The reason why we want to try to have a little more cushion is we still don't know what we're going to get into with drainage pipe under the pond. That's what we said from the word go. We're anticipating being able to line it. That's what we're planning on doing. But we won't know until we actually drain the pond and then look at it. So we just, we our setting the capital budget is just nice not have to come back and ask for money. We'd love to come in under. But at the end of the day, we want y'all to feel comfortable with what we're going to do, knowing that 2 months from now, it's going to be too late to make some decisions.
I just want us to, I know everybody we done, it's been over, you know, like, call $300,000, $600,000.
except for Veterans Avenue and Monroeville.
Well,
I just want to be careful with that.
Well, to your point, Anthony, that's why whenever we stood before last time, I said, if you could, we can always return money. I would really love to hold the $500,000 number. We're not making any more money. We're going to hold the contract fee for It's just unknown for this project. It's not a straightforward paving project, but we can estimate tons, and you know, you're going to place 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and this is a outside the box project. So that's why I kind of humbly requested last time that y'all try to hold the line item closer to our original estimate of $500,000, because there's just unknowns we're not going to. So it's never good to go over. It's always better to come under, but y'all are looking at other projects besides this one.
On the three little additional kind of add on, so we don't look to an arena for the
Say it again,
like
Anthony.
for the parking and all that different type stuff, we're gonna wait to do that on the real end to make sure we got enough money to do.
Yeah, some of this we could wait on. Yeah, the parking could be something we hold to the.
I would think the parking would be the number one of the three.
I'm just saying,
We're just
as it
saying-
related to construction scale.
There is a problem.
Yeah, there's a park, I'll just use that for that example.
Yeah.
As far as the fingers go, at some point you got to make a decision on whether or not you're going to remove those, because at some point you got to start refilling the lake.
Yeah.
So you can't wait on that.
I wouldn't hold the priority as much as there was construction scale.
I've talked to 2 different contractors, and both of them told me that any extra work we want to do with the unit prices we got, we better do it, because they doubt that we ever see those prices again.
We got $45 a ton for it. I mean,
Which is typically $65 a
I don't
ton.
know if you can haul it here for much cheaper than.
But he's not making any money really off of that riprap. Because one contractor told me he ain't no way that he could do a job with that kind of, putting that kind of money in there. And both of them told me, with these unit prices we got, anything that we want to do, if we can do it, we need to do it. Because we won't get them prices.
Our recommendation has been from the beginning, try to hold a $500,000 budget, and I'm standing on that, not to try to waste y'all's money, just because we knew when we started this job, we had a lot of projects, and we'll try to make the most of it for the city. So, at the end of the day, whatever dollar figure you target, that's what we're gonna try to shoot for. But, I don't believe, as Michael said it better than I would, that it'll ever be any cheaper. And certainly not be a better time to go ahead and move forward with some of these items that we do.
Well, that's why I felt like it was good for y'all to come and, you know, just talk about what was not included in that initial bid. You know, the fingers, we went through this whole thing this past year where if you fell off the darn finger, you couldn't get back on. And that was one, I look at it, as that is a safety thing. Plus down the road, and our mayor-elect was in here when I said this, but I thought that one day it would be nice as an ongoing project, you know, don't just stop it, but replace the white sand beach there and put out a pier with a covered area at the end, which I think the city will be able to get grant money to do that through LWCF whenever that window comes up again. So it's not just, let's do it and leave it alone. Because that's what's been done. And it's like Charles said, we have to have the maintenance plan and we have to build for the future. That is the future. So I think this has been a great, you know, eye-opening project for all of us.
Yeah, and we're still in the honeymoon stages. I mean,
Yeah.
This is a difficult project and just time frame, trying to make sure we try to work the golf course. I know we're probably out of time for our short segment of time, but the council does have a good unit price project, and I believe it could be a very successful project. It's just going to be a difficult project, and for your sake and our sake, it would be nice to move forward with the original, something as close as we can to the original budget. We can't have 500,000. I'd love to have 460, 465. That's speaking my piece.
Yeah.
You're talking about on the construction that you had.
On the construction.
Civil engineering and stuff.
Right, but now our original construction budget was 500,000. So I'm talking about trying to come in under that, yes, sir. But be above what we awarded on the contract, just because we got great prices, why not make some more improvements?
And our contract price is locked in. If it goes up to 465, our price is not going to change.
Yeah, our fees change, will not change. Okay, any other questions? Michael, anything in closing? Mary?
Sir?
Anything in closing for us that we speak to?
We talked about the more.
Well, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah.
So y'all did get,
Oh, the mulch.
Mr. Al's talking about, y'all did get like $48,992 in
Yeah.
grant money for rubber mulch at Veterans Park. And I think that's coming up in a few weeks. So.
Well, we've got it
Or
on
do
the
y'all have it
agenda.
tonight? Okay.
We've got it on the agenda for tonight. It's for construction, $48,992 with a $2,400 contingency, project management $3,500, ADM application preparation and submission $2,500 for a total estimated project cost of $57,392. City of Monroeville matching funds are $8,400. So that is, I'll pass that around and I'll study on it.
And what this is, like I speak to it just a minute, is when you go and get a new set of tires, if you'll notice on your bill, they'll take $1 or $2, and that's for processing tires. And ADM actually takes a portion of that and sets it aside for grant monies. And if you got a bulldog, somebody that's gonna really just aggravate ADM about once a week, like I do in Paxton, he'll put an application, we put an application in, and it took him calling a pile, but I know that Veterans is not y'all's only park, so what we can begin working on is try to put in an application next year for maybe some of the other locations y'all are interested in. But it's just rubber mulch you pour out, instead of using the wood chips, it just lasts longer. So it's a win-win, you can't beat it, it's gonna be about almost $50,000 free money coming back to the city of Monroe.
I think we submitted that application back in like 2018, so it's been almost 2 years ago since we submitted it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say when I
It was a long time.
I wish you all giving up on both parts.
Yeah, it's not their part.
Well, now, just so you know, what we ended up getting clipped down on there was what amount of money they was gonna give us.
Yeah.
We ended up starting out about $100,000. The program has changed some. And I'm telling you, if Paxton had to call them about once a month, I don't know that you've got.
They won't give you any more than $50,000 at a time. But now, like Jeremy was saying, once we finish this one, we can reapply for another park.
Correct.
So, and basically what it is you'll buy the mulch and then you'll be reimbursed through ADM, and Mike and his guys will go out there and actually spread the mulch.
Just over too small, I think. London district is small.
Yeah, it is.
Over here, it's a small portion of it. It's not.
Okay.
It won't take much.
So
Yeah.
the next grant should cover those three.
Are we going to do the three things we just discussed on the lake project? Are we going, you gonna come back with us with something on that?
I need a decision out of council, really.
Okay, I mean, the parking end, I think everybody's in agreement with. I think we have in the fish thing and in the things, I think the agreement is, but now what are you gonna do on the parking? You gonna add another lane, or you gonna actually add a parking spot, or what's your proposal on covering for parking at the lake?
Well, there's been discussions that we have to finalize. We got to work through some of those, just making sure we feel comfortable with the safety aspect, because it is on the grade.
Okay. That's why I'm asking here.
You know, the bigger issue we got is capital budget coming due, contractor about to start work.
Yeah.
And
that contract starting work needs to be.
And if we're going to remove the fingers, which I believe is in your best interest, not only from a maintenance, but a safety, to do that, then we need to be authorized to do
Now, I like the idea of going after 50, if you're talking about doing some pier or something in the future, which would be not terribly substantial, then that would cover that part of it.
But, you know, if I can talk to the best of them, I've got to find out another time. So we need a decision by the council ultimately to authorize us to move forward. I'm not telling you that's an action you need to make tonight, but if we're not careful, we'll wait the next council meeting and we'll be forgotten some of the things we talked about tonight.
I would say by November 1st, we need to have some clarity on what we want to do.
Let's see why we can't decide it now.
I mean, I would be in favor of looking at the parking and maybe the screen that the fingers on. You know, see what the difference in falling off the finger is versus falling off the side of the leg.
What you got more of a linear edge to just be able to maintain with this flex mat than you do a fairly narrow peninsula going out into the water that is just going to be a maintenance issue. It's
You step off of it, it's muddy and sticky. I've been out there, but that's the only thing I can see. But I like them like that. I like the opportunity to be able to go out there.
It's going to be, I believe it tees you up to be able to better maintain the pond, and if we're going to move forward with this being an asset and actually apply for LWCF money to be able to get some piers and other things out there in the lake, it's the next right thing for the lake. Having said that, it's your decision to make. I've made my recommendation, and I believe that things need to come out, and that we need to do all three items. But money does not grow on trees, and I want y'all comfortable with this.
The fingers were not original to the lake. They were added last month. But then, I mean, they are a safety issue. I think you'll have a much cleaner lake without them.
And now some of my recommendations based on feedback I've got from this group. And I mean, Michael Lassiter and council and my observations. So I don't know. I can't make my recommendation, and I'll be glad to answer any other questions. But
my concern is how much would paving cost, and we don't know that. With the additional parking, I mean, we have a ballpark figure.
a minute ago, I gave a number around $15,000 to $20,000.
But then you said you didn't know.
It's going to depend on actually how many parking places we can fit in there. That's what we're thinking is, you know, you at least 6, you may get 7 in there. And, you know, if we're able to get more in there, that's going to put it up closer to the 20,000 mark.
And as Anthony said, or you talked about, it's probably the most important of the three we discussed, but it can be done at the last, depending on where money's at. And I hate to say money's driving this whole thing, but it really is. And if y'all say, well, all we're going to give you is $420, we're gonna take, based on priority, we'll do as much as we can with that $420,000. So, I hate to say money's driving it, but it doesn't have to be a paid parking lot. I can tell you from a maintenance perspective, particularly on the hillside, for it to be paid would be nice, but some of these, I mean, this is all first world problems. We're trying to maintain an asset for the city, and there's some latitude here, and it's gonna be bound by dollars.
So you're talking about doing parking where the existing dirt road is now?
Yeah, so right along the
Not
dam.
on the dam, I thought we were talking about adding extra lanes to the dam.
Well, you got, so what we're talking about was right around where that dirt road is, being on the right side of the road, on the pond side, and having parallel parking. So you would add another lane, right? You pull up the curb and gutter, you essentially have another lane with this stripe right there. Am I making sense to you? That way you're not having to back out in traffic, you're actually just able to pull in there, just parallel parking and then go out. You know, we've got other discussions we talked about, and possibly shutting down the road. I say shutting down the road, taking maybe the west side and turn it into a one-way. Striping the, you know, the paint stripe, striping the dam. We've got options for parking. Anyway, I'm not trying to be confusing. Last time I said, if you could stand the budget 500, we're trying to come in under that to do some of these extra things. And we just want to increase your capital budget as much as we can to give us some buffer, because we've got great bid prices and there's 3 or 4 things that really improve the pond if we can do it on contractors. And so y'all just got to get comfortable with that number is. What I'm requesting now is around $465,000.
So is that, do we need to make a motion on this tonight to make this decision so that he'll know, so they'll be able to make a guess? Okay.
I think we need to move, that's when we don't need to keep down the road either.
Okay. Does someone feel comfortable with that? Is there anyone feel comfortable with that?
Put up 465.
Yeah.
And we feel comfortable if you had 465, we'd be able to pay the parking.
The pipe has to be redone.
I'm sorry.
If the pipe has to be redone, it's gonna use it good.
I told you this was a unique project that I don't have a crystal ball on, and we're gonna know a whole lot more as soon as that line's drained.
There's some other options there. If it can't be lined, it's just too hard to say right now what it's gonna be.
You look at siphon systems, there's just, that's the one, the pipe is the one question mark we got in this case.
I don't see why we're under pressure to make that decision.
You talking about
In other words, could we make the decision on what to add once the pond's running?
when are you gonna be passing your capital budget? I was under the impression y'all were not to do that.
Well, the thing about it, the drain and all, it's not even in this figure. Not really what he's talking about, because it's such unknown. But if we have to go with a siphon system, that's gonna be cheaper than putting the valves and all that. See what I'm saying?
It's almost gonna come out, it's not necessarily a wash, but you're gonna save some money to make the other improvements. If that makes sense. Because it may not be as bad as what you think it might be.
And even if, if we have to slip a smaller pipe into it, instead of lining it, maybe slip a stainless steel pipe through there. That's something we have to look at, because if there's an 18 down there now, we can get a 16 in there. We need to see what that's gonna do to the water flow and all that.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to table this, and we can bring it up maybe on the 20th, that's our next meeting.
That's great.
That gives us time, because, and in the meanwhile, do y'all think you could come back with a more concrete thing? Are you pretty sure on the parking?
We can itemize out what we're projecting.
Why don't you do
Put
that?
it in a letter, and
Yeah.
that way the council can make a decision. And
Let's do that.
don't take me as pushing y'all. I was under the impression we had a capital budget, and I was just trying to do like Anthony said, not come back to the table equal money.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to preserve my original estimate, because this is a unique project that we just don't know everything about yet.
Okay.
And so Not trying to be pushy, I thought we were trying I was fighting for a budget to make sure we didn't come back again. So if y'all got time, we got time, and we'll put it in writing, and that way y'all can make a decision.
Right. We'll look at it in October for you. Right. Thank y'all.
Okay, thank y'all so much.
Appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming over. Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay, Tim, you're on.
I have several things to get real quick, so I'll print them up in a little list. Get out my list. First thing is an adoption of a recommendation from the Planning Commission involving the R4 district. And that is the mandate that in an R4 district, a manufactured home must be placed on a lot owned by the same owner as the manufactured home. The Planning Commission has made a recommendation to drop the requirement that the lot has to be owned by the same person as the mobile home, so that a person with a lot can lease the lot to an individual manufactured home. That is not a trailer park.
Okay.
The second item is I need a confirmation of condemnation notice. The city ordinance says that a condemnation must come from the city. I'm telling you that the buildings are in poor condition. They're unsafe structures. We've kind of been over that, but I need a vote, a recommendation to tear them down, condemn them to, and that'll be a 30-day notice posted to tear them down. And if the person doesn't tear them down, then it's our responsibility.
So we're gonna include Pine Street, so.
Pine Street's committed to termination.
Well, the two on South Street, they definitely need to be torn down.
Will you make that in the form of a motion?
Yes, because
Okay.
other people that
Number
were giving them.
3 on my list is I've gotten 2 bids to finish the demolition of 8 from Whetstone, 4980 and 4950. So I need a motion to accept one of those bids. And then the last time we had a discussion on removal of the air conditioner on top of the Hornery building. And I need to make sure that I have a motion to approve that bid. We can skip number 5 because I know we're running short on time. That's just an update on where we are on the repairs after the hurricane. Number 6, We Care, that's on the square. You know, they're located in a couple of counties and they use the funds they get from donations and selling the donations for prison ministry. They have a donut maker who is coming down, I think, from North Carolina. They're going to sell donuts in Britain and Atmore, and they want to sell donuts here on Thursday. They're going to be on county property. They have approval for that. They have approval from the health department, and all I'm asking is that we can forgive their business license.
What's the date? October 8th in Monroeville? Okay, so that would be, so does someone want to make a motion that we waive their business license? For 1 day. Yeah, this is for the weekend, just to waive the business license fee for the 1 day sale of donuts. That's it. Thank you. Okay, so where are we? Okay, Mary.
Okay. I'll make this quick. The organizational meeting, just as a heads up, we are having it at the Oakley Biggs Amphitheater at 6 p.m. on November 2nd, the first Monday of November. I have a draft agenda here that Mayor-elect Andrews and I've given to him, and we're finalizing this agenda. I just wanted to let y'all know that the venue and the time were different from when I announced it. I think in February we were going to have it at the community house at 5, so now we're having it at 6 at the overly based amphitheater to accommodate the social gatherings and the attendees. The fiscal year end, I gave you all a copy of the email that I sent to you at 1:18 today to tentatively show you that the city came in with a $1.37 million under budget figure. This is pretty strong figure. There are going to be a couple journal entries that we're just going to have to make. But with that, if you take out the CARES Act funding of $294,925.18, that gives us our under budget surplus of $1,075,956.09. The items below that, with the surplus in the last couple of years' budgets, we've done $92,000 to support the MIP buildings loan notes. Sterling, we need to appropriate money on the front end to cover the loan notes because the rent payments don't come in time to support paying the loan note, which is $8,333.33. But that $34,000 will transfer back to the general fund at the end of our fiscal year. And then the incubator tentatively used about $40,000 to help support the loan note. One of the tenants in there has a rent waiver because they constructed a wall for the city, and we have to take that rent waiver into consideration, which is about $26,000. And they did not receive their certificate of occupancy until September of this year. Therefore, their rent won't start until November of 2021. So this current fiscal year, we will not be able to account for their rent in our revenue. And like I said, with the tentative amount, we have about $910,456.09 to distribute within the general fund contingency, which could help with any budget amendments that we may foresee in the future, especially with the personnel items you all discussed, and maybe revisiting the budget and the personnel budgets in March. We can, and any other contingency items that may come up with the new administration. We also have the Vanity Fair Lake project that we can use some of the surplus towards to go in our capital improvements, the fire truck request, the police vehicles, public works equipment. We can consider another certificate of deposit, a CD, or we can apply to any of the outstanding loan balances. I've also attached the loan database that we currently have. These are our current loans that the city has. And then on the back side, it shows the satisfied loans, which are the loans that we paid off. This was a database I created about 5.5 years ago, or 5 years ago, to help show the city's debt. I built 2 worksheets for you all. So when we go into looking at our capital improvements budget and our ABC budget, just let me know how to build these budgets based on your recommendations.
Thank you.
Can I ask a couple of questions? Under 294, what would we do? Is that going to be set aside as actually cash, the CARES money?
Sir?
The CARES money, the 294, is that actually
that was a
cash that
reimbursable.
we'll set aside? Or?
No, that was to reimburse the payroll expenses for the COVID, and then also the COVID $12,000 expenses that we had to pay for this last fiscal year. So I didn't want to include that in our surplus funding, since it's actually going to reimburse expenses from
But
last.
it is actually.
Sorry?
It is actually.
It is, yeah, but we can't, I don't think we need to bring it forward.
What about the Sterling building roof? Do you need to put some in there for that maybe?
I don't have an accurate amount to put in there for the roof, so it would, I don't know if we need to do the whole roof or if we need to do a patchwork. I just don't have a confirmed figure to budget for.
What roof you got? The Sterling.
We have not talked to him. So that see what he had mentioned, possibly. We'll do that.
I think the last question I had was, last fiscal year, didn't we budget for half of the contract capacity with no plan?
Yes, sir.
So is that money included in the 1 point?
No, no,
So
this
it
is general
set
fund
aside-
only. This is,
That's capital.
right, capital improvements and ABC have their own separate bank accounts and funds. So the general fund, this is solely what our general fund produced.
Well, good report and great job with that very healthy surplus. Okay, do you have anything else here?
No.
Okay, I have something, and I'm gonna have to ask, if we can go into an executive session to discuss the economic development matter.
I second.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes.
It's time for a public hearing. Al made a motion.
Y'all know, we have another grandmother, she became grandmother again last week.
No,
Y'all haven't heard that yet.
we gonna have her cruel thing.
Pretty much.
Really?
Well,
Really?
yeah.
Huh?
55, will come to order for the public hearing for the city of Monroeville. First item on our agenda is to welcome the Reverend Dr. Ian Cunningham, and he is going to lead us in our invocation.
Let us pray. Dear God, our Father, truly we are thankful for today and all of your blessings. We count this as another day that you have given unto us. You've allowed us to rejoice and to be glad in it. And now, Father, as we come, we truly thank you for all of the blessings that you have bestowed among us. Your word teaches us that in all thy ways we are to acknowledge you and that you would direct our path. Father, we invite your presence, your power in this meeting. We ask that you would lead us, guide us, and direct us. Let all things that we do today be done decent and in order for your glory and for your kingdom. We pray for our mayor, pray for the city council. We pray for all of our officials that are here tonight. Bless everyone that's under the sound of our voice. Lord, keep us now in thy will and in thy ways as only you can. And Father, I pray that you remember our city, our community, our state, our nation at large. Keep us in thy watchful care for your glory and the good of your kingdom. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Okay, we need to, Tim, review. Yeah, review weed and debris abatements.
That are not changing that way. There were just a couple of lawns that are not cut.
Oh, that's right. We have two. I'm sorry. And I've got them. It's in all this paperwork. We have one that is, and I'll pass these around so y'all can see them. We have a bid from Johnson Housing LLC for $100.
That's possible.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have only two properties that are not in compliance, sorry. One is John Westwood Pausell, and then the other, Miles and Becky Cohen. So those two properties out of the list are not in compliance.
Yeah, what about the one I talked about on Carton Road, the one you just did on Bunch, just get on it?
I've actually sent them a letter trying to get them to respond about trying to sell the house or something. And the grass that's there is just kind of grass. It's not like the house on Paulsell or the other house. So I kind of left it off to try to get them involved in a conversation. The guy, he really isn't. So that's the my head of operation for that, because we already have a lien on the house. So
Yeah, I got a call from the neighbors, actually yesterday. She'll do this cut one more time, she'll be all right with it.
yeah, I mean, if it's not cut, if he doesn't respond again, you know, I didn't write the same letter. I wrote a letter about, I could print it for you, but it's a letter about, you know, let's resolve this and the house up for sale or.
So if you don't get back from him, we just talk to you, so you know we have to do the cut.
Yep.
I got, I can know it.
Okay.
Yeah. Who did you make contact with for John Wesley Palmville? Did you contact, do you need me to help you to contact somebody?
No, I sent it to the address on record, which is the tax record, and it went to an attorney's office in Coral Gables or Miami, and they did not take a look. So we will clean the yard and put a lien on the property.
Right, you can make contact with someone.
So the ordinance reads that I send the letter to the person, to the address on the tax record, and that is at the attorney's office in Miami. Now, if you want to contact her, have it done.
I think we'll do it, right, we'll contact, yeah. We'll contact her. Yeah.
Okay, well, we can
get
talk
it
about
done.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay, so do we have a motion on these to approve or deny the abatements?
I second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. We have a motion to adjourn the public meeting.
So move.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just pass it back over here because I've got a lot more stuff. Okay, so we're now after 5. We will now come to order for the City Council of the City of Monroeville, our regular meeting. Everyone to stand, please, for the pledge of allegiance. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First item minutes. Rescheduled work session is held on September 18th at 3:30. Rescheduled public hearing is held on September 18th at 4:55, and rescheduled regular meeting is held on September 18th at 5. Do we have any discussion on the minutes? I have a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve on 3.
I second
All in favor?
it.
Any opposed? Okay. Next item, resolution 2010-001. Adopt fiscal year 2021 general fund budget. Do we have any discussion on the general fund budget?
I think I have a question on personnel, the fire department, I think Michael asked for an additional person.
Not the public works department, yes. The 2 laborers that you requested in the last meeting.
And then the fire department, 24/7.
That's in the middle column, the budget hearing. But as far as I understood, the 2021 revision column only includes current personnel and the $1,800 one-time pay supplement. That I understood it that we were going to review all personnel items over the next
Agreed
year.
to hire 2 firemen.
There wasn't a motion.
We can make them. That's part of it. Did you, I mean,
We discussed the actual.
he was, I thought Bill had put it in his budget.
Put it in the second budget, but we didn't put it in the, when we did the budget hearings, we didn't do it originally, right?
So the increased amount, it went up, because we had 2 higher paid leave, it went up 60-something thousand.
Right.
Something like that.
I can adjust those figures if you need me to.
Then we would, do we have a motion to approve the general fund budget with the revision of the addition of the 2 firefighters? No,
And Michael's too is in
they're
there.
already in there.
Okay.
I'll make that.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, resolution 2010-002 ADM mulch grant. We have a motion on that to approve the proclamation.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Next, resolution 2010-003 weed and debris cost confirmation. Oh, here it is. Okay. We have 2 properties that we will need to approve the fee, and it's $125 on each property to cut the grass, so to speak. So we have a motion on that.
I make that motion.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, next we have the organizational meeting November 2nd at 6 p.m. at Oakley Biggs Amphitheater. Do we have a motion to approve the plans for the organizational meeting?
Make a motion.
I second.
So this is for the second.
As what is currently planned. And I know y'all will get a full schedule on that. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, next we have the drug take back on October 24th, 10 to 2 in the Monroeville Police Department. Do we have a motion to approve that?
Absolutely.
Now,
No, it
Walmart scratched off of that.
Yeah, Walmart's not. They're not. It's just Monroeville Police Department, and to approve our police department to transport at our expense these drugs to Mobile. Yes, okay. So that's the motion. Thelma, you make,
That's right.
yeah, and then do we have a second? Melvin, second, yeah. Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Next is set our trick or treat hours for Halloween as 5 to 7 p.m. on Halloween, which is Saturday, October 31st. Due to COVID restrictions, we will not be hosting the Halloween bash around the square. But Dawn will talk to the merchants about the decorating and so on. Yes.
We still did the contest, still with the awards.
The contest, you mean for the merchants?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Are you doing hay bales this year? Yeah. Okay. So all of that.
We had 37 participating.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a lot.
It got put together. We still really wanted to have it, and I think it was something good for the kids. But if I could pass this out to you all, so this is your judging sheet.
Okay.
So you
Yes.
can decide for the
When do you have the judging set for?
The 20th, the night of our council meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay, so setting the Halloween trick or treat hours, do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, one motion. Motion, Thelma, second, Larry?
That'll work.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. Okay, next is accept property donation. This is property being donated by Ruth McCrary and donating to the city. Michael, would you go into more detail on that?
It's it's a little stretch of property, about 60 by 80, right there between Hornady, Crook Line and Pike Street. It's got a house on there. You can't see the house down in all the trees that grow up. There's an old house down in there. But it's just a little stretch of property that she has no use for. And she just wanted to donate it to the city.
Yes, I got the deed on the property. So that is, any discussion on that?
What's the advantage for us to take ownership of it?
It could be potential industrial property.
What size is it?
It's about 60 by 70 something or 80 feet. It's not no big lot.
Like quarter of an acre or something?
Yeah.
It's heavily wooded debris and stuff.
Yeah.
They wanted us to burn the house. We couldn't get into it.
What do you think, Al?
I don't know why we want it.
No asbestos in the house.
That's why she giving it away.
Yeah, but I mean, if you, that takes something off the tax rolls, and also we gotta maintain it too.
This is going to advantage us, this is going to beat us. How is it going to help us?
Yeah.
They're not making any more.
Yeah.
Well,
Nice of her.
do you see a future use, Michael?
Man,
Do you see a future use?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
A future use for what?
You're free. That's
Hey, that's it. It's free, let's take it.
Okay, so any other discussion on that? So we have a motion to accept this property donation.
I make that one.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, next is the Whetstone Street demolition quote. We have 2 quotes on that are only about,
The next year's budget or this year's?
now that would be next year.
Can we up your budget?
We budgeted $18,000 in his budget for demolition. Because we didn't use 8,000 this year, so we just added to it for next year, or for this new fiscal year.
So on these 2 bids, they are basically, let's see. Well, they're like $20 a part, I'm thinking that.
$30 a part.
$30 a part. Yeah, so we've got, $4,980 is the first one. And the next one is
$49.50.
49.50. So 49.50 is the lower bid. Any discussion on that? Any discussion?
Do have, they're insured and all this good stuff.
Business license, all that.
Whatever, business license, insured.
City business license, no one calls in order. Okay. Do we have a motion? Y'all want to make a motion on that? Do you want to make a motion to accept the lower bid?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion to accept the low bid of $49.50 for demolition, completing the demolition.
That's a top 10 question.
Yeah. Tim.
That stuff's recoverable by tax.
Okay, next item is Alabama Power Lighting at the Fire Department Training Facility. Billy, you want to say anything about that?
That's about this, the lighting that Sam Shot come talk to you about, few council weeks ago. He got the person with Alabama Power or Southern Company, they came out and did an audit on the training complex and the fire station to replace our existing lights for the LEDs, and they gave us the proposal I forwarded it on. And for them, and I guess we had signed into an agreement with them to keep them on for so long, but they were actually cheaper on both locations going with LED fixtures. And it's supposed to give us a lot more lighting.
Yeah, well, I mean, it has everywhere else. It's been amazing. So do we have a motion to approve those?
Make a motion to approve.
All in favor? Okay, next item is to update our hospitality agreement with HREC for the total fee will be up to $10,000, no more, for our hospitality study. Do we have a motion to approve that?
Approve that and pay it on ABC.
My second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, that's all I've got, other than I did want to mention that our city clerk is the incoming president of the Alabama Parks Association. And the value of that cannot be, when I say overstated or understated, it's good. So I just want to congratulate Mary on that and to say that as the president, she will serve as the leader of the association for the state and appoint chair people to various association committees, work very closely with the league. We have a letter from a previous president just stating the value that it had been not only to her but to her community, and that is in Fairhope. And then we also have in Vestavia Hills a letter from Rebecca Livings, who was also president of the Parks Association. And Tony McKelvey was also president with the Parks Association, which I remember well because we provided from the chamber when they had a state meeting, we would provide Monroeville stuff to go in the swag bags. Mm-hmm. So it is going to be an honor, and I congratulate you. I just want to recognize you for that. So. That's all on him, I think. Yeah.
I've heard from some people that are watching say they have trouble hearing. Can we check in and maybe give us some mics or some way of audio being better? Okay. And have one other thing that we talked about. The appointed incubator building, removing that air conditioner. Is that something the council wants to address at this meeting? Taking one out, patching the roof, insulating over. Would you be bringing that in?
We got a good price on it, on doing that from J&L. I think it was 2135. It's leaking around all the, I don't know, fastening things, and it's causing rot to the under roof. So.
When that price they attached
Now that I don't know.
The roof is a memory roof. It can be patched after that stuff comes off of it. But the unit is like this big, so you can't get underneath it. So to get underneath it, you got to move it, and they can cut it up with saws and take it off. Otherwise, you have to lift it off. You have to get a frame from the floor. So their price is welding it into pieces and taking it off and dumping it as a recycle.
Good question, though. We're gonna patch it, but what's gonna cost to patch? I mean, we did do it, but we have an idea on the total amount. It's gonna cost another $1,000 to patch. I think we need to do that, but I didn't.
It's a feeling little thing. I'm gonna go up there with a tube of rock.
Okay.
It's just that if you can't get underneath it.
Yeah.
And it's right over the furniture piece. Okay.
I need to fix it.
I think so too.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll need to ask them to confer with the fire chief too. So
Thank you.
Well put.
Okay, so Al, are you making that?
yes, I'll make that as a motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
All right.
Oh, you have to, okay, that's right. Anthony abstains. Thank you, Anthony.
We work with GP.
I need to.
Okay, and now
I would like to make a motion to waive the business rights to retail. I think retail is the name of the place, right? I mean, okay. to sell donuts this Thursday on the square. Just this Thursday. I make that in the common.
All in favor?
Ah,
Okay. Everybody go out and buy them donuts.
what time are they gonna sell on this thing?
What time?
6:30 or 7 a.m. So something like 2.
Now they're early. Okay, thank you. Thelma, do you have anything? Anthony?
He's getting.
Yeah. You need to come back to you? Okay, Larry? No. Brenda?
Yeah, I like to make a motion to have 2 houses on South Street torn down because of unsafe and unsound structure.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
Okay, I got it down.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Brenda. Brenda, do you have anything else? Anthony?
I just want to keep going, take about 5 or 10 minutes
Oh, okay.
to, look on the calendar.
I make a motion to go into executive session.
Okay, you have a second. Oh, I guess you.
You made it, I second it.
Okay.
I'm good.
What?
They have
We didn't make a motion on the removal or mandate that in all 4 districts, like the manufacturer home that Tim talked about. Yeah. We didn't make a motion on it, did we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
To amend the ordinance. So what Bob usually did was Bob brought in the ordinance number and then the change, what the current ordinance says, what the change is going to say.
Okay, so Tim, if you'll make those. We're gonna have to have a public hearing to amend the ordinance. So if you would just state how it's being amended, what the change is, and then we will.
We just need an ordinance. Amend the ordinance.
Okay, so we don't need.
And then it will be published in the paper.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Mary? Billy?
The mayor is aware of this. We had one fire truck, actually the fire truck we're talking about replacing, we purchased a new one. I was having some mechanical issues. Well, then we had another truck have some mechanical issues. Had a mechanic here today. Both of those trucks pointed out having to go to the shop. So we're essentially down 2 fire trucks right now. One of them is still usable. Just we have to pay for attention. We don't have some type of engine failure on it. Parts for the other one will be in hopefully tomorrow, and they'll come back and work on that. But we're not affected by our firefighting capability on the reserve truck anyway. So we're we're just down to 3 active fire engines, 1 ladder truck, and one of those fire engines are going to be limited use.
Well, Billy, it's good timing on this new fire truck, right?
It is, and any event that we make that purchase, we have a department within the county that is already offering service out to purchase that. That'll be a possible on that. I don't know what the extent of the cost are going to be to get these trucks back going. One of them that's got to go from Monroeville, they got to pull a portion of the engine out of the truck to get to the parts. It's something to do with the cooling system on the turbo. With all that being said, I know we just started in the budget year, but I may be back asking for a minimum budget, this exceeds what we've got before the end of the year.
Excellent. That's why we have contingency.
On the new truck, what kind of time frame from order date to receive? Any idea?
About 8 months last I checked. Yeah, they're limited on stuff called COVID as well. Originally it was like 6 months, it was up to 8 months now, and it's probably just going to get longer for that call. Yeah, truck 20, the old battery truck, which is the 91 model.
Randy? Michael?
No, ma'am.
Tim? Don? Where's your Don? You've already spoken. Do you have anything else? Sandra?
No, ma'am.
Can Mr. Chuck speak on the weather?
Okay, yes, thank you. Chuck, can you tell us about our latest hurricane?
Currently, as of the 4 p.m. Update, Hurricane Delta, we're deep into the Greek alphabet now, but Hurricane Delta is hadn't quite made it to the Gulf of Mexico. It is passing speeds of 145 miles an hour. So it is a very strong category 4. The path, fortunately for us, has shifted somewhat west of the earlier, even as of earlier today. Landfall is still expected late Friday, early Saturday morning on the Louisiana coastline, with the path shifting northeast, come over Mississippi and Alabama. Our area will be affected with rain probably Friday and Saturday, but not nearly the wind that we thought we were going to get even as this morning. So right now, we're probably looking at 20 or mile-an-hour winds around here, and some rain. So 4 to 7 inches was the prediction this morning, is probably lower to get it like 3 to 4 inches of rain, something like that. As always, this is not even in the Gulf of Mexico yet, so we can obviously have changes to that. The cone of uncertainty is still in our area, so we're going to keep a close eye on it. The one good thing about Sally is it did cool our waters off a little bit in the coastline, and there was a good bit of wind shear that's going to cause the storm to weaken as it gets closer to the coast. But it's still between category 2 and 3 expected rainfall, which is going to be catastrophic for the folks in Louisiana that gets there. And, but hopefully it'll spare us the double dip that we've seen over the last storm. So that's about it on that. It's another update will be 11 o'clock in the morning. Anybody's more than welcome to come to the EOC in the courthouse basement and watch with the National Weather Service. If you like, I know Chief Armstrong and Chief Black again, any of the council members are more than welcome.
Thank you, Chuck. We appreciate all you do to keep us on the alert. So we're not looking at power outages particularly.
I can't tell you whether a tree will fall or not, but it's not going to be, shouldn't be as bad as
well, thankfully, I hope not. Also, I wanted to mention real quick that Alan Webb, Green Product Technology, he's got this COVID kiosk. I'm going to call it a kiosk for lack of a better word, but he is partnering with a company called Atlantic Design and Pinnacle, or Atlantic Structures and Pinnacle Design. And they are going to be, they're here tomorrow at 10 for anyone who wants to come out and view this product that is made out of his insulated steel panels that potentially these things could be produced out of the rope. I mean, for one that's done, has been produced out of the rifle. You walk through it, you get your temperature taken. It also looks at firearms or metal detection. There are a number of things that it can be rigged to do. It can do facial recognition. But they are going to be just demonstrating it tomorrow at 10. So you go in on the Sheffield Drive entrance. So I think it would be good if y'all could come out. I mean, just, it's a new concept that if it does take off, it could be really good for us all. So just wanted to mention that. So, do you have anything? Yeah.
Make a motion, we adjourn this meeting of City Council.
But I would appreciate very much, when we can sit down, this Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I know, Charles, I